Hey guys, Scully here. Gonna do a review of my Etha. Just gonna go through it, tell you about the gun, what it comes with, and then at the end, kind of maybe different things that could be improved. If they come out with like a version 2 Etha or different parts that they upgrade. So when the gun comes, it'll have a cardboard box. Good looking cardboard box, catches your eye, not too bad. And then you pull this out, and this is what you get. Has the words Planet Eclipse, Etha, green case, very sturdy plastic. Have it out in winter, hinges don't work, I've dropped it, it's been in dirt, mud, it cleans off perfectly fine. To open it, you pop open these latches, and you open up. You get your manual, 2-piece shaft 4-barrel, parts kit, Etha, toolkit, lube. The case is the foam is very nice. Very rigid. I haven't had very much time with the Geo3 or Eagle 11 cases to compare the foam yet, but I'm pretty sure that probably the foam would be the same. There's these pieces are kind of separate, and then they lay a piece of foam inside. So then you get, separate foam. I don't think you can buy separate in case one breaks. So you can put your manual up here. Barrel stock kind of just holds it there. Now let's get to the actual gun part, or the extras. Very nice manual, very brightly colored, very detailed. It goes into detail into parts, tells you the parts, tells you the O-ring numbers, how the gun works, how the board works, how to take it apart, how to maintain it, how to adjust the velocity. Let's see what else. Eyes, which are very important. Your internals, which are very important. Very detailed. Solenoid. Troubleshooting. More troubleshooting. The gun is assembled together with the parts, numbers, and then O-rings. These are actual size O-rings in the gun. So if anything were to break, you just pull it off, size up the chart, go to your parts kit, and then that's it. And then it also has screws. Set screws, screws to hold the feed neck on, grip screws, all that. And then it tells you, where to go to their website, parts you can buy, upgrades, and then, quick references, and then your warranty registration card, which you can, I think I had registered mine online without the warranty. Go to the barrel. It's a 2-piece shaft 4 barrel. It's reverse threaded. So with other guns, you would screw it on this way. This one you go to the left. They say they do this because it prevents your barrel from falling off. I haven't even had a problem with any type of barrel anyways falling off. It's a 2-piece, so it's just something different. Very heavily ported. This bores at a 693. See if I can get the shininess. Very good porting. I'm sorry I can't get a better quality. Again, it is bored at a 693. I do recommend when you do get these, depending how long your Etha's been sitting, kind of put a little bit of lube right here on this O-ring. It'll make it a lot easier to screw the barrel into, the tip on it. You've got a huge parts kit. You've got like 2 tips for the bolts, O-rings, a filter for the solenoid, the purging little plastic piece. I mean, you just anything. If you had to fix it 3 times, 2 times, it's in there. I haven't even used it yet in my year and a half of owning this gun. I haven't even touched the parts kit yet. You got a good, very nice toolkit. I had to get a new one because one of my friends kind of lost my other Allen key. But the ball ends are very good. Very nice to work in, to get into tight places. I do recommend not using, if you do try to tune your trigger, I did have a very problem with this small one, with the ball end, trying to go into the actual tuning of the trigger, not this one but another one, and it kind of rounded off the end. So if I just kind of a tip, if you ever do tune your trigger, use the Allen key this way. And then just kind of apply your Allen keys up like that, put it in. They do also add another feature that if your screws just, your bolt gets, seized in there, or another, tool or screw or whatever gets in there. I highly doubt any of these. I could just see your bolt getting seized in there. What they do is they put a notch down here. And what you can do is you can take your Allen tool and just slide it in there. So now you've got even more torque on that Allen wrench. That's a nice feature. Like I said, I don't think it'll ever be needed. Maybe once, like I said, negative 15 degrees weather out, you shoot like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pods straight, and your gun just completely freezes and shrinks because it is aluminum. Aluminum is very sensitive to cold. It will shrink. You have your PE lube, very good lube. I haven't had a problem in winter with this at all, so this lube is very recommended. I haven't tried any lubes yet, but I just use what comes with my gun. Now to the gun. Like I said, I have owned this for 1.5 years. I haven't had any problems with it. This did come after they had the problem with the spring in the back compressing and bending, and then they changed the bolt tip and then the bolt bumper. We did have one of our teammates have a problem with the spring, and what would happen is we would shoot, and then kind of go duh, 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 duh. And it wasn't like it was returning. It wasn't shooting right. And we tried, taking it apart, relubing, it kind of worked and didn't. So if you ever have a problem, and I don't know which years or what period of time with Etha's would have a spring problem, because sometimes it just worked. It was just there was a bad batch of springs. But if you do have a problem, you contact PE and you tell them that you need the springless poppet. I will take it apart and show what the springless poppet looks like. So we'll kind of just do an outside. Right now I have the Exalt grip and the Tech knobs. Yes, I said it's Tech, not Tech T. So anybody that says out there it's Tech T, it's Tech. It's kind of funny. The guy at Todd at Tech kind of gets annoyed. But anyways, because the only problem I had with just the Allen or just the screw with the Allen head, kind of like that screw, was I couldn't get a good tight fit on my hopper, so I just bought that. Prices I don't know on them. It was, again, I bought it 1.5 years ago. Very smooth lines, nothing heavy, nothing fancy. I'm not a very fancy person. I just like guns that work, and this works. We got your eye covers, your grips. You got a Oops ASA. Your velocity is down here, and your bolt comes out in the back. Now to take the grips off, let me get my Allen keys set out. I do wish, if Planet Eclipse ever sees this video, when they do for their toolkit, if they could put like a notch for your finger so you could get underneath the toolkit to kind of pull it out and be easier. Because I got big hands. I have a problem trying to get my finger in small places. So in order to take the grips off, you just take your Allen key and then grab the right sides. And you take the screw out, and then you get to your gun. All PE tends to Loctite their threads with Teflon, blue Teflon, liquid blue Teflon, which is very nice. Haven't had any screws pop out. How the grips work is just it's held by that one screw and then the one tab up here. And all you do is you just pull up and pull out. That's it. This is your inside. You've got your micro switch, your, if I'm trying to remember correctly, the solenoid, the eyes, and the micro switch. And then this is your battery harness right here. Here's your tournament lock, and of course your battery. I recommend 9 volts Duracells. I don't use any off-name brand batteries. Just no. There has been controversy of using the paintball performance batteries that they're bad for your gun. I don't know. Then this is the other side of the grips. PE also does put on the back of the grip. I'm probably not going to get this focus again. Well, anyways, what this does is it's a mini manual right inside of your grip, and it tells you what each flashing light on here does. So if you're out in the field and you got to turn up your dwell. Well, there you go. Now you know which flashing light you need to go to when you tune it, which I will show how to change modes and all that stuff. Let's go to the eye covers. Give me a second here. Again, I don't know if you can see it. Teflon coated so they won't fall out from vibration. Eye covers just pop right off. They're plastic, or they're the plastic that has glass in them, like the micro bead glass. You've got your normal PE detents, your rubber detents. Very simple to put in, done. Then you have your eyes. They're flat square style. They just simply set in there. They fit in there. They just don't float. I hate when guns, they just kind of float and you just kind of have to shove this in there and hopefully you get the screw in time before it pops out. You got a clamping feed neck. This is the adjustment screw to how tight to make this. Your OOPS ASA, very efficient, works. It's not hard at all. I mean, it's just like, and that's it. I mean, there's no effort required to push, to open, to air up your gun. SL3 regulator. That's how you tune your velocity. To decrease velocity, you turn it to your left if you're holding the gun this way. To increase the velocity, you turn it to your right. You've got your standard PE trigger. You've got your 3 different points of adjustment. What else? The Ethas do purge, which is a nice feature. I love the purging of the gun. So you don't have to... That's the one thing with a $1,600 gun, the die one. It did not purge. You had to shoot another ball after you were done. So that is a nice feature that I like. This is just a cap, because when they have to drill holes for the airports, that's just how they cap it, because they have to go in that way. The grips, all of this is hard plastic. Anything raised like this, not this, this is all soft plastic. It gives a good enough grip. I haven't had any problems with sweating, paint getting on it, dirt on it. It just gives you a good enough grip. Go to the bolts. This one does take a little while. And you notice how I didn't have to use a tool, I just used my hand. You don't have to crank it down with a tool, you just use your hands. This is the bolt. Very simple. You have your drive spring, your bolt, I guess you would kind of call it your can. This part's a little difficult because it does like to stick in there. I can go into detail more if people want on how to actually break apart the engine of the Etha, but I don't have my flat pliers on me. I have ones that have teeth, which will chew that up. But this will come out. Let me try to give it one more time. Oh, I have my exhaust. There we go. Oh, maybe not. No. Okay. I'll just make a second video of just the bolt system. But primarily, the only thing you have to lube is there's O-rings here, 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 and I think there's one back here. There's the springless poppet, and then there's an O-ring like right inside here, and that's all you have to oil or use grease on. Then you just kind of clean inside the can. PE says don't lube this, just leave it dry. And you're kind of going into metal and metal. They said it's just creating bolt stick. This, probably again I'm not, okay, there we go. As you can see, that bumper has notches in it. So the older ones don't have that notch, it was just a flat piece of rubber. And what that was doing was the grease was sticking to it, or was getting on the back of it, and as the bolt came onto it, it created a suction. So that suction, was, preventing the gun from shooting, and you're getting bolt stick and whatnot. And then this was what I was talking about with the notches on the tip. Hopefully you guys can see it. But you can see there's like a notch right there, notch right there, and notch right there. So what that does is when that ball, let's grab a paintball really quick. Sits at the bolt, and you can barely see it, but right here it just leaves a little air vent. So when it's pushing it, it's not creating a vacuum back here. And then you just put this ring back on, put it in, and again, just finger tight. Never had a problem with the bolt coming loose. There you go. Simple as that. Put this tool back. The jewels, they went from the plastic stickers, kind of like the Deadly Wind, to these printed on shiny pieces of metal. And you can see the Etha is gone. I can just scratch it with my finger and the rest of the thing is gone. They did it on the E-Tech 4s and the jewels were just gone. They were getting shot off by paint. They would just fall off. To get into the gun to program it, well, let's just turn it on first. So you just hold the power button down. Hopefully that's not too bright in the camera. And right now it's just telling me that it's on, the eyes are on, but there's no ball in the chamber. Put my finger in the chamber, it's letting me know there's a ball in there. The cool feature with this is, say if the bolt's not moving, but the gun knows I shot, the light will start flashing purple. And so I have it set for 12.5 balls per second. I can only shoot so fast. It's a nice little feature to add, so you don't just go chopping paint when you don't know what's going on, because I barely look at that screen when I'm shooting. I'm looking down the field. To turn the eyes off, you hold down the power button until it flashes purple, and now the eyes are off. Now I can shoot with the eyes off. And you can see I can shoot a lot faster than when you're having problems with the ball. So again, if the ball's not feeding fast enough, the computer senses something's wrong, it's not working. To turn it off, you just hold down the power button and then red, and then the gun's off. To get into the setting mode of how to set the gun, you hold down the trigger, you hold down the power button, and then the white light will flash. This is, I'll kind of just quickly go through the modes. Red is firing mode. I'm just reading this because I really don't program it. I just leave it once, but I want to give you guys the correct modes. If I tap it once, it just tells me what it is. To program it, to go to the next mode, I just tap the button. This is the max rate of fire with the eyes on in capped mode only. This is the rate of fire, dwell, and debounce. And that's it. To tune to a different setting, or change the settings, when you're in it, you hold the trigger down, it turns off. Now you're ready to program it. So first one is semi. We'll go to, I think PSP is, we'll see that it told me I didn't enter anything and it was error. Go to PSP, 1, 2, 3. Then you have to hold down the power button. It'll flash 3 times and you're in. The cool thing about this is when you go to test your settings, instead of having to turn the gun off and then turn it back on, it goes straight into firing mode. So you can skip that other step. Turn the eyes off. PSP, if that's what it is. I don't know. I don't ramp. I play woods ball. I don't ramp. Sorry. Not hating on ramping, just not me. Then to get back in the mode, you have to turn the gun off again. You get back into the settings, hold the power button trigger. Hold the trigger down. Press it once. Hold power button down. Flashes. You're done. Back into firing mode. Gotta turn the eyes off. Back to single fire. And then off. The nice feature with Planet Eclipse is, say you have to take apart your rig. You got water, something happened at the field, you got dirt, whatever. You have to take everything out of the rig. You're just doing your yearly maintenance, end of the year, you want to lube everything.